Before I start, I should quickly note that most information I've got for this introduction I got from Wikipedia. So if it's at all biased in Jimmy Wales' favour, I do apologise. Indeed, if you dispute the neutrality of this introduction or notice the additional spurious or unverified information, please contact info@wikipedia.org. Thank you, everyone. Together with Wikipedia's editor-in-chief, Larry Sanger, Wales created Wikipedia in 2001 and now serves on the board of trustees of the Wikipedia Foundation. Since its foundation, Wikipedia has grown to become the largest, fastest growing and most popular general reference work currently available on the internet, and currently ranks among the top 10 most visited websites worldwide. Wikipedia attracts 683 million visitors annually, reading 10 million articles in 253 languages. Now, I'm sure everyone here knows and loves Wikipedia as much as I do, and on behalf of all lots of students, thank you. The number of times Wikipedia has saved me from an essay crisis, and indeed the extent to which we in the union use Wikipedia is just incredible. I just really hope my tutors aren't in the room right now. So ladies and gentlemen, it is my absolute genuine pleasure to introduce to you Jimmy Wales.
Yeah, I was going to see your head. Okay, that's fine. Yes. So good. This is my fourth time in Oxford, actually, and by far the most sun I've ever seen in Oxford. So it's really spectacular. I heard the weather was dire last week, and I said I used to live in Chicago, so don't tell me the weather is dire here ever. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I have approximately 30 minutes of remarks. And then we're going to do Q&A, and hopefully that'll be a really active and energetic Q&A. Yeah, I'll just get started here. So in 1962, Charles Van Doren, who was later senior editor at Britannica, said, "The ideal encyclopedia should be radical. It should stop being safe." But if you know anything about the history of Britannica since 1962, it's been anything but radical. It's still a very safe, stodgy, old-fashioned encyclopedia project. Wikipedia, on the other hand, began with a very radical idea, and that's for all of us to imagine a world in which every single person on the planet is given free access to the sum of all human knowledge, and that's what we're doing. So what I'm going to talk about very briefly today, I'm going to just give a brief overview of my work, including Wikipedia, but also some of the newer stuff I'm working on. I'm going to talk about Wikipedia Academy and Africa, because I'm very interested in what's next for Wikipedia, and for me what's next for Wikipedia is mostly about our growth in the languages of the developing world, so I'll talk a lot about that. I'm going to talk a little bit about how we do our work, some of the details. I'm going to actually, there's one slide about the neutrality policy, which I think is one of the more interesting aspects of Wikipedia, and a little bit philosophically worthy of a little discussion and debate. And I'm going to talk a little bit about building a community and what that's all about. So, what is Wikipedia? Normally at this point, when I'm giving a talk to a large corporate audience, I ask, how many people in the room have used Wikipedia? And in a university audience, I don't think we need to go through that little step, because I assume everyone has. But there is still the question of how many people have actually edited Wikipedia? Oh gosh, that's really good. How many people would consider yourself a Wikipedian, whatever that might be? And how many people are admins in Wikipedia? One. Good. I heard there was one. So super. So that means later he'll just answer all the questions and I won't have to do anything. But so a lot of people who've just used Wikipedia by just, you Google and then you find Wikipedia, you don't necessarily get what it's all about, and I kind of think it's really important. Some of the ideas behind Wikipedia are extremely important to understanding who we are and what we're doing and why. The idea is that Wikipedia is a freely licensed encyclopedia written by thousands of volunteers in many languages. The free licensing part is super important to us, the idea that it's really a volunteer project and that we're in many, many different languages. All of those are important to understanding the spirit of the project as a whole. So how popular is Wikipedia? Obviously very popular in this room, but it's now the 9th most popular website on the internet, according to Alexa. Sometimes it's 8th or 7th or 9th or whatever. I don't look it up every day, only every other day. The 7th most popular in Germany, 10th most popular in India, 9th most popular in Japan, and I think this last one's pretty interesting, 12th most popular in Iran. In general, people have this idea that maybe in different cultures people wouldn't like this kind of project or kind of information, and Iran has this sort of an image that you would think a kind of an Enlightenment, reason-oriented project like this would not be popular, but it turns out it's very, very popular. People really like good basic information everywhere. The Wikipedia has become very popular over time. It grew very, very quickly over a period of time. What this graph actually doesn't show you, because it's a little hard to see, is that it looks like, well, almost nothing was going on and then suddenly we spiked up. But in fact, even in those early days, from the beginning, from back in 2001, our traffic was doubling, our participation was doubling about every 3 or 4 months. But when you go from one person to 2 to 4 to 8, it doesn't necessarily look like very much, but you just keep doubling and pretty soon it gets pretty big. How global is Wikipedia? Although English is the largest language with over 2 million articles, I think it's over 2.5 million now, that's actually less than 1/3 of the total work. We've got both German and French are over 500,000 articles each. We've got these languages, Polish, Japanese, Dutch, Italian, Portuguese, Spanish, and Swedish, that are all over 250,000 articles. But although we're really, really strong in all the languages of Europe and in Japanese, and actually Chinese is doing surprisingly well, considering that we have been completely blocked in China, and the Chinese language Wikipedia is still blocked in China. There are languages where we're not doing so well. Afrikaans, for example, is a language in South Africa. It has only around 9,000 articles. Afrikaans and Swahili are the only 2 languages of Africa which are even at 1,000 articles. So we have a long way to go in that. And then take, for example, Hindi. Hindi is a language with over 280 million speakers. Recently there were 15,000 articles. Now, in the languages of India, it's quite varied. Different languages are doing better than others. Some of the languages are doing quite well, over 30,000 articles. And the distribution of which languages are doing well is a little hard for me to understand, but I'm told that it actually makes sense to people. Canada, for example, is a pretty active language. It's the language in the area of Bangalore, so it's kind of a high-tech area. It varies, and it's kind of hard to understand, but doing pretty well in India nowadays. So it's kind of fun because although Wikipedia is of course well known here, it's really interesting to me that we've created quite by accident this amazing global brand where people all over the planet know about Wikipedia and heard of Wikipedia. A blogger sent me this picture of a menu in Beijing. It says stir-fried Wikipedia, and for me, I like the spicy food, so I'm going to have the stir-fried Wikipedia with pimentos. So this is on a menu in Beijing, and I looked at this and I said, I really have no idea what this means. So I asked some Chinese Wikipedians, and they said, Jimbo, we really have no idea what this means. So the best that we've been able to figure is that someone in the restaurant was tasked with translating the menu. Apparently it's a mushroom dish of some kind. And probably the guy who was going to translate the menu asked someone, how do you say this in English? And the answer came back, I don't know, go look in Wikipedia. And the person just said, oh, okay, Wikipedia, and wrote that down. We have no idea. The funny thing is, this is not an isolated incident. There's another menu. Actually, I took the slide out, but there's another menu in another restaurant where there's some kind of fried Congo eel with Wikipedia. So I don't know. I'm really interested. I'm going to be in China in just a couple of months, and I'm going to be looking out for some Wikipedia to eat. So this project, so we've created this huge global brand. People know Wikipedia everywhere. It's become really, really dominant in people's consciousness about sharing knowledge, access to information. And we're run by the Wikimedia Foundation. We're a charity. We're a nonprofit organization. We are a very tiny nonprofit organization. We have a new executive director, Sue Gardner. And the foundation is responsible for Wikipedia and its sister projects. So we have several projects, Wikipedia, Wikinews, Wiktionary, Wikisource, Wikibooks. It's a handful of projects. each with a slightly different focus, but they're all focused